Deep in the heart of Montgomery County, Pennsylvania, in Elkins Park, lies a 110-room neoclassical mansion known as Lynnewood Hall. This mansion is just one of the hundreds of places in the United States that have been abandoned and are slowly rotting away. The mansion took 3 years to build and was finished in the year 1900. This relic belonged to a group of mansions built during the Gilded Age. The term Gilded Age derived from the era in United States history meaning an era of serious social problems masked by a thin gold gilding. Be that as it may, the Gilded Age was an era of rapid economic growth, and these mansions were built by some of the richest people in United States history. Considered one of the last and largest surviving Gilded Age mansions in the Philadelphia era, it was built for and owned by industrialist Peter A.B. Widener. Peter A.B. Widener died at Lynnewood Hall at the age of 80 on November 6, 1915, due to having very poor health. What makes this story interesting is that just 3 years prior, Peter lost his oldest son, George Dunton Widener, and his grandson, Harry Elkins Widener, when they died during the sinking of the Titanic. Peter Widener was an investor of the RMS Titanic, having invested in the International Mercantile Marine, owner of the White Star Line, with J.P. Morgan. Peter's son George and his wife Eleanor had traveled to Europe with their son Harry in 1912, in which they booked a return passage home on the Titanic's maiden voyage. George hosted a grand dinner party aboard the world's most luxurious cruise ship. The ship's captain, E.J. Smith, had to leave the party early to check on reports of icebergs ahead. George, his valet, and Harry died in the sinking, while Eleanor and her maid survived by boarding a lifeboat with other first-class women. The library in Lynnewood Mansion was turned into a ballroom after the sinking of the Titanic. Peter then died in his bed just 3 years later. The New York Times reported that he succumbed to the old age and deep sorrow caused by the loss of his son and his grandson in the Titanic disaster. Much like the Titanic, this mansion has succumbed to the unfortunate circumstances of rot and decay. Also like the Titanic, who had 2 sister ships which suffered the same fate, Lynnewood Hall also had sister mansions that were built almost identical, one of which is White Marsh Hall, which was sadly torn down and has only remnants of the once lavish property. To this day, Lynnewood Hall is currently on the market for $16 million. A historical restoration architect estimated in 2014 that it would take about $50 million to restore the mansion to its former glory. However, realtor Frank Johnson suggests the property could be renovated for just $3 million to $8 million. Hopefully, a preservation society can come in and restore this beautiful piece of history before nature continues to take over and will eventually diminish the mansion from its place in U.S. history. This is Matt from Random Video Circus. Hit the like and subscribe button for more videos about history's relics. Thanks for watching.